Okay, so usually when we talk about making it in an industry, the advice is, well, pretty standard, right?
Right. Grind, network, hand out business cards.
Maybe post a LinkedIn update about how humbled you are.
Yeah.
But today, we are looking at a strategy that is way darker.
And maybe way more effective.
And honestly, it makes me want to delete all my social media apps immediately.
Well, it's certainly a case study in what happens when networking stops being about making friends and starts looking a lot like surveillance.
We are diving into a very specific, very messy conflict that's been unfolding in the Malaysian indie art and zine scene. We've got a whole stack of sources here, PDFs, leaked emails to NGOs, a ton of Instagram screenshots.
And some transcripts on dark psychology that, frankly, explain a lot of what we're about to see.
The story really centers on two figures. On one side, you have Aaron, founder of the Kinta Zine Club.
The established one. Respected, sort of the master of the scene, if you will.
And then on the other side, you have Aizat, the nobody who wants in.
But the way he gets in is the whole controversy here. He doesn't just, ask for a mentorship.
No, he essentially downloads Aaron's entire social existence. We're calling it mapping the network.
And that really raises the core question of this whole deep dive, doesn't it? Is systematically following your mentor's entire social circle, friends, exes, private accounts, is that a genius growth hack?
Or is it, like Aaron claims in these documents, harmful stalking behavior?
It's a fine line.
We're going to look at the tech, the psychology, and the fallout. Because, spoiler alert, this involves poetry readings, digital restraining orders, and a guy who might be a Machiavellian genius.
Or just a guy with zero boundaries. So let's unpack this.
Yeah, I think we have to start with the context, because Zines might sound, quaint to some people.
It does, but this isn't just about stapling paper together.
Right. For anyone who doesn't know, a Zine short for fanzine. It's usually self-published, small batch work. It's poetry, diaries, sketches.
It is inherently vulnerable stuff.
Exactly. This isn't a corporate boardroom. It's a community that's often built on shared trauma and artistic expression.
So it relies heavily on safety and trust. If you breach that trust, you aren't just being rude.
Yeah.
You are dismantling the safe space that allows that art to even exist in the first place.
Okay, so enter Aizat. It's April 2024. He's in the Tambun Zine Club group chat. And then he decides to make an exit. We have the screenshot of his farewell message.
And it is quite the message. He writes, "I've been silently and secretly curating projects, so I'm going to leave the group for now."
Silently and secretly. It just feels a bit theatrical for a group chat exit, doesn't it?
It is theatrical. But if we look at the notes we have on Machiavellian psychology, this aligns with a specific tactic: strategic withdrawal.
Okay, what's that?
The idea is that absence creates power. If you are always available, you're common. If you disappear, you create a vacuum. You make people wonder.
Okay, what is he secretly planning?
Yeah.
So he leaves the chat. He goes dark. This is around May to July 2024. Aaron and the collective, they're just carrying on with their lives.
Right. They go to Jakarta for the Bungazine Fest. They're dealing with the unglamorous side of art.
Like paying for pet boarding, stressing about flight tickets.
Normal stuff. They think Aizat is history.
But he wasn't gone. He was just quiet.
And in the world of data, quiet usually means you're listening.
And this brings us to the mapping. August 2024 rolls around, and Aizat resurfaces. But he's not, posting about his breakfast.
No, he pops up with new accounts -oracle.rebel collage.goyang. And Aaron starts to notice a pattern that is, well, it's intense.
Yeah, intense is a good word.
According to Aaron's note on my Stalker PDF, Aizat didn't just follow Aaron.
Right.
He systematically followed everyone Aaron knew. Personal friends from high school, partners, private circles.
Okay, but I have to play devil's advocate here for a second. Is that stalking? Or is that just how the algorithm works?
I mean, that's the ambiguity he's playing in.
All right, Instagram suggests people, you click follow. Is it really that deep?
Well, let's look at it through the lens of OSINT, open source intelligence. If I want to know who you are and you have me blocked or restricted, how do I find out?
You look at who I talk to.
I look at your husband, your best friend, your favorite coffee shop. By mapping the nodes around you, I can triangulate your life without ever touching your profile.
And that is what Aizat did.
He didn't just click suggested friends. He replicated the entire network graph of the Kinta Zine Club.
So to Aizat, this is just data harvesting. He's a nobody, right? He wants to be a somebody. So he looks at the master Aaron and says,
I will simulate your network.
Wow.
Exactly. It's a shortcut to credibility.
Right.
If you follow all the same people Aaron follows and you comment on their posts, you effectively insert yourself into Aaron's social class.
You become a peer by algorithmic force.
Yes,
It's kind of brilliant in a really cold, calculated way.
it is.
He's bypassing years of relationship building and just scraping the contact list.
It is brilliant, but to Aaron, it feels like a home invasion. Aaron writes about mental health going down the drain, feeling unsafe, this fear of returning to a psychiatric ward.
Because in a small, vulnerable community, having someone replicate your private circle, it feels like they are hunting you. And here is the plot twist that actually made me laugh out loud, even though it's really serious. While he is doing this, while he is mechanically mapping this social graph, what is his day job?
You cannot make this up.
Go on.
Aizat was a fellow at a digital security fellowship, a program called Protect, organized by Internews and PLUOO.
The man accused of cyberstalking his mentor was literally being funded to study digital safety.
It is the ultimate irony, but it's also the ultimate camouflage.
How so?
In the dark psychology transcripts we have, they talk about concealment. By being a researcher in digital rights, he has the perfect cover.
Right. If Aaron says, "Why are you following my ex-boyfriend?" Aizat can just say,
I'm a digital security researcher. I'm studying network vulnerabilities. It's just data, Aaron.
exactly. It gives him plausible deniability.
It does. He can frame his obsession as professional curiosity. And it makes Aaron's accusations sound paranoid to anyone who doesn't know the full story.
Okay, so we have this setup. The master feels hunted. Nobody feels entitled to the data. This tension has to break somewhere.
And it does, or almost does, in September 2024 at an event called Pasar Puzi.
A poetry market in Ipoh. Both of them are there.
Physically in the same space.
And Aaron decides to fight back. But not with a big scene.
No.
Aaron distributes a zine about stalking. It doesn't name Aizat, but it's very clearly about the situation.
It's a subtweet in physical form.
Totally. It's a defensive move. Aaron's trying to warn the community without directly engaging him.
But look at how Aizat responds. This is where we see that dark psychology playbook again.
He doesn't get mad. He doesn't yell.
No. He goes to Instagram and comments on Aaron's posts. We have the screenshots here.
What does he say?
He writes, "Congrats in advance," with like heart eye emojis. And then this really strange one. "Why do we have enemies? There is no smoke without fire."
Whoa. That is confusing. Congrats and enemies in the same breath.
It's what we call a double bind, or to use a more colloquial term, it's passive-aggressive sunshine.
I love that term. Passive-aggressive sunshine.
It's highly effective. If Aaron gets angry at a comment that says, "Congrats," Aaron looks unhinged.
Right. Why are you yelling at him? He's just being nice.
But Aaron knows, and Aizat knows, that it's a power move. He's saying, "I'm still here, I'm watching you, and I'm going to act like your biggest fan while I do it."
It's the TMZ approach. He's treating their personal conflict like it's some celebrity feud he's just commenting on from the sidelines,
Ooh, no smoke without fire.
as if he isn't the one holding match.
It creates confusion, which is a key tactical weapon. When you confuse your target, they hesitate. They start to doubt their own reality. Is he a stalker?
Or is he just an awkward fan?
And Aizat just lives in that gray area.
So the subtle approach fails. The blocking fails because he just follows everyone else. Aaron decides it's time for the nuclear option.
Yeah, we're jumping to December 2025 now. This has been going on for over a year.
And Aaron sends a formal alert email. And this isn't just to Aizat.
No, this goes to the institutions, to Internews, to PLUHO, the fellowship organizers, and to Tokusu, the bookshop where Aizat works.
The subject line is basically, stop being complicit. Aaron is demanding that these organizations cut ties with him.
This is an attempt to use institutional power to stop him.
Machiavelli would call this ruthlessness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you can't beat the enemy in the field, you cut off their supply lines. Aaron tries to destroy his reputation and his income.
But does it work? Because the responses Aaron gets are, they're tragic, but also kind of hilarious in a bureaucratic way.
Okay, let's look at Sue's response from the bookshop. Sue is completely bewildered.
Totally lost.
She writes back saying, "I don't really understand what's going on. Aizat always speaks highly of your team, like an adoration."
Adoration. That one word just sticks out.
It proves Aizat's strategy worked. To the outside world, he painted himself as the adoring student. So when Aaron screams, "Stalker," Sue just sees a fan who's being rejected.
And Sue is dealing with her own life. She basically says, I have personal tragedies. I can't handle this drama. Please get a mediator.
Yeah, she just wants to sell books. She doesn't want to referee a zine war.
And there's Gavin from PLUHO,
Yeah.
the NGO side.
Gavin gives the classic HR response. He confirms Aizat was a fellow past tense, but says, "We cannot take any action without due process."
And he suggests, wait for it,
Queer-affirming therapists.
it's a dead end. And this is the problem with trying to report this kind of behavior, isn't it?
It is. Aizat didn't break a law. He didn't threaten violence. He didn't hack a bank account. He just looked.
Intensely.
Yeah. There is no law against being creepy on Main.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the institutions are paralyzed by that. They need a crime, and all Aaron has is a feeling of being hunted.
So Aizat knows he's safe from the institutions, and he actually flips the script again. There's this incident about a ban.
Yeah, this is a masterclass in positioning.
It really is. Aizat publicly comments on an event post asking, "Knee open for everyone, Key, can I come?"
Implying that he's been banned.
And Aaron has to publicly clarify, we have no power to ban him from public markets.
So by asking, can I come, Aizat positions himself as the victim, the little guy.
The underdog. Oh, the big bad Kinta Zine club is excluding poor little me.
And if Aaron says no, Aaron looks like a gatekeeping bully.
But if Aaron says yes, Aaron has to tolerate his presence. It's a win-win for Aizat.
He forces Aaron to either look mean or be unsafe.
Yeah.
So let's get to the verdict. We have the source stack, we have the drama. Who actually won this feud?
You know, if we look at it purely from a goal-oriented perspective, I think Aizat won.
I hate to admit it, but yeah.
Think about it. He started as a nobody. He used mapping to integrate himself into the scene. He got the fellowship, he got the job, he got the connections.
Sure, Aaron labeled him a stalker. He got reported.
But looking at the sources, he's still there. He's still in APO, drinking coffee, hanging out.
And Aaron?
Aaron maintained the moral high ground, maybe, but the cost was massive. Psychological breakdown, public exhaustion.
Aaron had to spend over a year just monitoring Aizat's behavior. That is a heavy tax to pay for visibility.
And it seems like Aaron's reaction, while, totally understandable emotionally, might have played right into Aizat's hands.
How so?
It's possible. By calling him a stalker and creating zines about him, Aaron made him important. Aizat wanted to be part of the story.
And Aaron made him the villain of the story.
Exactly. But in the art world, being the villain is sometimes better than being invisible.
That is such a dark take. Being the villain is better than being invisible.
It's the economy of attention. Aizat harvested that attention.
So is Aizat a genius or a creep?
I think he's a modern pragmatist.
Yeah.
He realized that the safe space of the zine world was actually just a public square on Instagram.
And he treated people like data points.
Yes. It's cold, it's lacking in empathy, but it is technically efficient.
He treated the community like it was a simulation. If I push this button, what happens? If I follow this person, what data do I get?
And Aaron was trying to defend a community that, digitally speaking, didn't really exist. You cannot have a private, safe community on a public platform.
The moment you post, you are open to being mapped.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to the listener, because this isn't just about Malaysian poets. This is about anyone with a LinkedIn or an Instagram.
Absolutely. We all like to think we own our audience, my followers, but you don't. Your followers are just a data set waiting for someone else to harvest.
And just because you block someone, it doesn't mean they aren't watching you through the reflection of your friends.
That concept of mapping the network means that you are only as private as your most public friend. If your best friend has a public profile,
You are compromised.
that is terrifying.
It's the reality of the connected world. Aizat proved that a nobody can force the somebodies to pay attention just by being relentless with the data.
He forced them to engage. Even if it was just to file a restraining order, they were thinking about him.
And in the Machiavellian sense, that is power.
It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Aizat certainly wasn't loved, but he made sure he wouldn't be ignored.
So here's a thought to leave you with today. We curate our lives online to be seen. We want the likes. We want the engagement. But are you the director of that movie? Or are you just providing free content for someone else's case study?
Or perhaps you are just a node in someone else's climb to the top.
On that slightly paranoid note,
Yeah.
maybe check your follower list today and check who follows your friends. You might find a map being built that you didn't even know about.
Stay safe out there.
Stay mapped or don't.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you on the next deep dive.